And you as well.
Okay. I wanted to ask you how to stay in the present moment, because when I meditate,
What time is it?
it's now.
What time is it?
I don't have a watch.
What time is it? What time is it?
It's now.
What time is it?
Now.
What time is it?
Am I answering it correctly? Now?
Yes.
Now,
What
now,
time
now,
is it?
Now.
What time is
Now.
it? What time is it?
Now.
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 What time is it? How much longer would you like to stay in the present moment?
For every moment.
All right. Now, please understand this. Again, we understand that sometimes these things can actually be a little bit misleading because they are being translated into your earth human language. Mm-hmm. You're always in the present. You're never not in the present. You can't be anywhere else actually. Mm-hmm. But you can pretend that you are not in the present. You can create the experience that you're not in the present, but you have to be in the present in order to create that experience.
Right.
If you know that, then you'll always be experiencing the now. Mm. But euphemistically, we have talked many times about the idea that in your terms, the easiest way to do that is by always acting on your highest excitement. Yes? Mm-hmm. Because excitement keeps you in the now. If you live in the now fully, knowing that everything that's going on right now is exactly what needs to be happening, and you're not thinking you're supposed to be somewhere else, you're not invalidating what's going on now, then you'll stay in the now. Because the only thing that's important is what's going on now and what your relationship is to it. Because remember, even what seems to be many different moments are actually the same moment, just from a different point of view. You understand that concept?
I do.
So you're always actually in the now.
Right.
But you can play the game to pretend that you're not. But if you know you always have to be in the now in order to play the game that you're not, then you'll remember that you're always in the now.
Right.
Does this help?
It does, but I have to tell you, this is the most exciting thing I've ever had happen right now.
Yes.
So thank you.
And you can use that because what you call memory is also created in the present. Memory doesn't come from the past. You create it in the present. So if you remember this moment that you feel right now, anytime you wish, you'll be in the now. Yes? Because you're creating a vibration that you say is representative right now of the most exciting thing you have ever experienced.
Right.
So anytime you remember this moment and feel that same feeling, you will then be experiencing the most exciting thing you've ever experienced. Mm-hmm. And when you're in that state, take action from that state. Now, here's another way to look at this, because also we understand again that many times it's all about how you define things. Just because you don't necessarily experience the same sensation all the time doesn't mean you're not experiencing your excitement. Excitement doesn't mean you have to be jumping up and down all the time. Excitement can be a sense of perfect peace and balance. Mm-hmm. So don't assume that just because you're not running around with your hair on fire, don't assume you're not in your highest excitement. Don't let the outer reflection tell you what you are. You determine what you are. Circumstances don't matter. Only state of being does. Yes?
Right.
So, whatever different form of excitement you may create in your life, all you have to know is that everything that happens must, by definition, be some expression of your joy, some expression of your passion, some expression of your excitement. Because how could it be otherwise? Unless, of course, you choose it to be otherwise. Mm-hmm. Do you choose something to not be an expression of your excitement? You can. But do you prefer that?
I always prefer the most exciting thing.
Then anything that happens, you must define it as part of your excitement and not an interruption in it.
See.
Yes?
Yes.
Because then you'll be able to extract the most exciting effect from it, no matter what's happening, no matter what anyone else's intention in that situation is toward you, which has absolutely nothing to do with you. Yes?
Right.
Unless you agree that it does. Yes?
Yes.
So it's all about how you define every experience you have. If you know that every experience is there as a representation of your excitement, then you will always experience it in that way, unless you choose to do otherwise. And that's how you stay in the moment.
Okay.
Because there is nowhere better to be, is there, than right here and right now with whatever it is that's happening, when you get as excited as a child with everything that happens because you're absolutely fascinated and curious as to why that's happening and what you can extract from it and what you can learn from it, and you don't want to be anywhere else but right here, right now, with exactly what's happening at this moment. Then you will be yourself, living in the now. Does that make sense?
It sure does.
Does that help you?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bashar.
Good day.
Good day. Good evening.
Oh, all right. Good evening.
Open-ended question.
Open-ended.
Can you talk about the light body, the spiritualization of the material body on this earth?
Yes. Well, again, the idea, as was expressed to some degree in the transmission that we gave called the 9 levels of consciousness, but put more simply right now for this conversation, is simply the idea that you are a higher frequency energy. That is your natural state, in a sense. You are consciousness. And in a sense, it could be said that, again, euphemistically in your language, you densify, crystallize your essence into a particular vibratory pattern that to you represents the experience called physical reality. It's similar, again, by crude analogy, to the idea that what you really are is steam, but you can densify yourself into liquid and densify yourself even further into ice. It's all made of the same thing. It's all energy, it's all consciousness, it's all spirit, if you wish to use that term. But you can create different frequency patterns within your consciousness to give yourself the experience of that crystallization, that densification, to have a different kind of experience of yourself that you call physical materialization, which is simply all going on within your consciousness. Does that answer your question?
I'm not sure.
Oh, all right. In whatever direction would you like to take this, perhaps, to gain more clarity?
Well, as I understand it, the spiritualization of the material body is something that we're all, or almost all, going to go through as we go on into the enlightened years or the golden age. And
Are you talking about the idea of ascension?
of the one?
Ascension? Where you raise your vibration back up.
Ascension into, and
Yes, well, that's
in
just
the
raising your
physical.
vibration back up. That's just expanding your consciousness again out beyond the parameters of the physical focus. When you talk about these ideas of physical body and light body, understand those are just analogies. That's not actually what's happening mechanically. It's just an analogy. It's just your interpretation. It's just a symbol that you've created in physical reality. You can experience it that way as if you have a light body, an astral body, a mental body, causal body. You can have that experience, but that's not actually what's happening. You're just a consciousness. And your body, in a sense, is actually more in your consciousness than your consciousness is in your body. So when you go from the idea of being a physical body, as you say, to raising your vibration and going more into the light body, so to speak, this is just another way of saying that you're just raising your frequency and expanding your consciousness beyond the parameters of the physical focus you had before. That's all. You've densified your focus, and now you're expanding your focus of consciousness. That's all that's happening, and all those different levels that you're talking about, in a sense, are just convenient labels to give you something to hang your hat on, so to speak. But it's not an accurate description of what's mechanically happening. It's just an experience. It's just an analogy. Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe?
Maybe.
Maybe, all right. In other words, don't get stuck on the labels, because the labels are just a convenience. Material body, light body, yes, we understand that those experiences can be had. But those things only exist within your consciousness as ideas, as frequency levels, as... You understand?
Yes, but this is something that is supposed to happen to the mass of mankind.
No, not the mass.
No?
It will only happen to those that decide that they're going to expand their consciousness. Remember, an infinite number of parallel reality Earths already exist. You don't change the world you're on. You change your vibration, and that shifts you to another parallel reality Earth that's already representative of the vibratory level you have changed to. But not everyone has to do that. The old Earth will still exist with all the people still on it who operate at that frequency. Only the ones that operate on a different frequency will shift to a world, another version of Earth that is representative of that higher frequency. Make sense?
Okay.
Now, the idea is that you are tipping the scales. More and more people on your planet are more aware of the idea that they are a consciousness, and they are raising their frequency. So more people on your planet than ever before, if you wish to simply take a number count, are in that sense shifting. So you could say, yes, the mass of humanity is uplifting to a great degree. But that doesn't mean that even though a whole bunch of you will shift all at once to different parallel realities more reflective of that upliftment, that all of you will necessarily. Some of you will decide that they want to go in another direction. But that's infinite. You can go in any direction you wish, based on whatever frequency domain you operate on, based on whatever signature vibration you give off will determine the parallel Earth that you experience. And that's how things change. No world itself actually changes. Only you change, and you shift to the world that already exists that's reflective of that change. And you keep doing that. And you're doing it right now billions of times per second, as we said. Does that make more sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
This is my very first time
all
being
right.
here in person with you, so bear with me. I have,
Bear with you.
yes.
You have a bear with you.
No, that's just the saying.
Oh,
okay?
all right.
All right, here. Okay, here is my first question. What do you think we can expect to happen after December 21st, 2012, in our global consciousness, in our economy, in our politics here in the United States of America, and how can these three areas affect the rest of our planet?
Thank you.
You are welcome.
To answer your first question, you can expect absolutely nothing.
What?
Remember, if you have been paying attention to what we said about acting on your highest excitement,
Yes.
the whole formula is this. Because we understand that many of you lock onto the excitement part and forget the rest of the formula.
Oh.
Act on your highest excitement to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you possibly can until you can take it no further, with zero expectation of what the outcome ought to be.
All right. I think
So
I
you can
remember that
expect nothing.
one. Ooh.
However, because many of you are focused on the expansion of your consciousness, you have created altogether a kind of collective consensus that we can read, in a sense, and tell you what the energy is that exists right now. Because you see, there is absolutely no such thing as a prediction of the future. No such thing. There is only a sensing of the energy that exists at the time the prediction is made.
Why do so many people make the predictions then?
Because they are sensing where a lot of energy, a lot of momentum may exist. And if that energy doesn't change, it will manifest. But if the energy does change, it won't. Something else will happen. That's when predictions don't come true.
Ooh.
Because they may not recognize that the thing they're picking up on right now is just the energy as it exists right now, but they may not be sensitive enough to know whether or not there's a large amount of momentum behind it or a little bit of momentum behind it. Is it a high probability of manifestation or a low probability of manifestation? Because you're only capable of sensing what exists now. There is no then yet.
Whoa.
Because everything, every possible future already exists. So the idea is, which one will you probably experience based on the shifts within your energy? Then you have some degree of probability of manifestation of that particular experience. But if you change your mind, you won't have that. You'll have something else. And that's why when you hear a prediction, the knowledge of the prediction itself can actually render itself obsolete. Because it's telling you, hey, here's how the energy is laid out. If you don't prefer it, you can change it now that you're aware of it. And if you change it, well, you've just rendered the prediction moot. Yes?
Yes.
All right. But to get back to your original intention behind your question,
Okay.
since again, many of you have created a consensus and there is a lot of energy behind it, the probability is this: that you're using the idea of this date to recognize that it is, in a sense, again, as an illustration, the leading edge, the bow shock wave of the leading edge of your consciousness as it raises its frequency. Like going through the sound barrier and you have the big kaboom. That date is the demarcation line, the crossing of the threshold, the tipping of the scales, where you go as a collective from being more negative than positive to finally being slightly more positive collectively than negative. And from there, you can snowball, you can accelerate that effect into more and more and more positive manifestation. But all that means, as we've already explained, is that you're simply shifting your vibration collectively to different parallel realities that are already more representative of what it is you prefer your world to be, what you prefer your world experience to be. So the more of you that are preferring the idea of different social, different political, different economic, different religious systems, that is what you will get. But in fact, for a while, you may actually all get very different things, slightly different things, until you simply find that you're more harmoniously meshing with certain groups of people who will then shift to realities where they will all experience the same kind of idea. Now, more of you are creating a choice toward more openness, more freedom in a variety of ways. You are taking back your power. You're now tired of handing it over to others to do for you. And so you're seeing more and more opportunities for you to create the kind of systems that you prefer. But it's not about changing the systems that already exist. It's about creating new systems that will replace the old ones, new systems that are more representative of the realities you will be shifting to. And just let the old world go its way, because the old world will always exist. It's just that you'll no longer be focused on it.
And it will no longer affect us? Is that what you're saying?
Eventually, it will not, because the idea of the 2012 date is also what we have called, by analogy, a splitting prism. It's like a train station. When all the trains are in the station, all the tracks are side by side, right next to one another, yes?
Yes.
Each track represents a different idea, a different vibration, a different reality experience, but they're all very close, and it's easy to jump from one train to another. But when the trains all leave the station, as they now have, all the tracks start to split, start to diverge, become farther and farther and farther and farther apart, going to different destinations. Becomes less likely, as they get farther and farther apart, that you can jump from one train to another. Eventually, the tracks will be so far apart, all you will ever experience is what is on the train you chose to be on, and all the other trains will no longer be experienced in your reality. Over whatever period of time that takes will be different for many of you. But in general, you will find that there is a consensus to this particular process for most of the people on your planet that are choosing a certain frequency. One of the things we have pointed out that does have a lot of momentum behind it is that of open contact with extraterrestrial civilizations, which is one of the reasons we are having these kinds of conversations, because this is one of the first stages of contact between your world and other worlds. To have these dialogues, to introduce new ideas that change your frequency and make you more compatible with the idea of contact with other civilizations who are already operating more holistically than your world does. The idea, therefore, to sense the energy that exists right now with regard to this particular issue of contact is, as we read the energy, the most likely window for contact will be between your years of 2025 and 2033. As we read the energy now, that's the most probable window in which open contact will exist on your planet. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It's a few years away.
Not really.
Well, I hope I'll
First
still be
and
here.
foremost, in your years of 2015 to 2017, that window, again, reading the probabilities that exist right now, your world will know sometime in that window of 2015 to 2017, will know for a fact that extraterrestrial life exists.
Ah, okay.
I am not saying how you will discover that. So don't assume I'm saying ships will land everywhere.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't.
Because I know how many of you interpret what we say. All we are saying is, and all we are saying is, we can sense, as far as the vibrational patterns of your collective reality go, as far as we interpret them, as far as we can read them,
Yes.
it seems highly probable, more than 90%, that sometime between 2015 and 2017, something will happen that will allow you to know that extraterrestrial life is a fact. The very fact that that now is in your mind, that knowledge itself will accelerate you toward the idea of the window of being capable of having the beginnings of open contact between 2025 and 2033, which really isn't that far away.
Okay, if you say that. Thank you.
How many of you thought 2012 was so far away and it's
Yeah.
half over already?
Yeah, we did.
There you go.
I did.
Things accelerate when you start to learn to live in the moment. 2025 will be here before you know it.
Ha.
So the more you live the way you prefer to live, the more you will meet us halfway with your vibration, and then we can come the rest of the way. But you have to meet us halfway. We can't do it all for you. Make sense?
Yes, it does.
Does that help you?
That helps me. I had one question about dreams. I don't know if you have time for that.
Time? What is time?
Oh, okay, that's right. I forgot. Yes, we're in the now.
We
Keep
are.
forgetting that. Okay.
It's all
right.
about timing.
Yes.
not
yes.
time.
Okay. So may I ask my question?
That was a question.
Oh, okay.
So now you have to ask another one.
Oh, okay. That was fast. All right. The question is, I really focus a lot on dreams. I'm intrigued by them.
all
I'd
right.
like you to answer something for me.
Yes.
A few years ago, I dreamed I was a poet, and I woke up and began writing.
All right.
And then I began channeling
Yes.
poetry,
Yes.
and I have several books.
Yes.
I have very intense dreams now, and sometimes they seem so real.
They are real.
But when I wake up,
Yes.
sometimes I record them.
Yes.
And I can understand some of the messages, but there are others
Yes.
that are really gnawing at me, and I don't
That's because
understand what
as
they mean.
any poet, you need some mystery along with the answers.
But I want the information. I want
You'll
the answers
get
to
it
the dreams.
when you need it.
What?
You'll get it when you need it. What did I just say? It's about timing, not time.
But I might forget the dream.
No,
by
no,
then.
no, 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 no.
Oh,
There is no such thing as memory. That's an illusion. You simply learn to live in the moment, and when you live in the moment, you will know what you need to know when you need to know it. You will not know it a second before you need to know it, but I guarantee you will not know it a second later than you need to know it.
even if it bugs you.
The bugging is the mystery that lures you into more of yourself. What is poetry without the component of mystery?
Yes.
Then
Okay.
trust how your life unfolds. Trust that you know what you need to know when you need to know it, and it is only because you're worried about knowing it, it's only because you're worried about forgetting it that you forget. Relax.
That makes sense.
Relax.
Whoa, okay.
All the appointments have already been made. You will keep every single one of those appointments, whether they are with a person or with information or knowledge of any kind. You will keep all of those appointments that you have laid out for you in your life, with one exception. You will never keep an appointment if you spend your time worrying that you'll miss it.
Oh, okay.
So if you just relax and trust how your life is unfolding and work with what you get when you get it and not worry about what you're not getting, you will then get what you need.
Whoa, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let life work. You don't have to make it work. It already works just fine. All
I'm
right?
so blessed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and pleasant dreams.
Okay.
Hi, Bashar.
And good day to you.
It's such a joy to speak with you.
And you as well.
I had spoken with you before about
Yes.
my son, and he had some bipolar episode,
Yes.
and for 2 years he didn't have one,
All right.
and then he just recently had one, and I believe I followed your advice this time.
Yes.
So thank you. And also, I just traveled to South Africa and
All right.
China
All right.
and back.
All right.
And I passed over the North Pole, both, coming and going.
Yes.
And I had a really mystical kind of spiritual experience.
All right. Such as?
I felt like my sorrows and challenges,
One moment. Say I.
I,
The tonal quality when you say I is solid. Stay in that frequency. Pretend you are always saying the word I
okay,
and okay.
okay,
Say everything in that tone.
okay, oh, okay,
No, in that tone, not
I'm gonna be singing in a minute.
Stay in the higher registers. Stay in the higher registers. There you go. Stay in that frequency. That's a reminder for you to raise your frequency. Because that's where your communication strength lies, in the higher frequency. Don't go down. Stay up.
Okay,
All right.
right,
Sing if you must.
okay. I wish I knew a song.
Not that high.
Not that high.
Practice that.
Okay. So the North Pole,
Yes.
I wondered if you could speak about it as a Earth polarity and its relation to...
The idea for now, euphemistically, is for you to understand, again, that acting on your joy at all times is like the magnetic compass needle pointing to your magnetic north. Stay on that wavelength. Stay in that frequency with everything that you do. You gave yourself an opportunity to actually experience the magnetism of the physical location and that vortex on your planet to acclimate yourself to that particular frequency more solidly. So all you have to do is allow yourself to remember that vibration, that experience of spirituality as you pass through that North Pole vortex, to allow yourself to know the appropriate frequency for you to stay aligned with so that you will always be pointing to your own magnetic pole.
I thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Good day to you too.
Pip pip.
Pip pip hooray. It's so wonderful to be here. I want to thank you so much for the citation transformation. I had such a great time, and I appreciate all that you've brought in. And
All right.
today I'd like to ask some questions about some of my excitement that I've gotten from being with you. I've created some things,
Yes.
and gotten some downloads, including the Tribe of Infinite Beauty.
All right.
I've been practicing and sharing these rights and actually increasing like the synergy amongst groups and having some pretty fantastic transformations.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I've noticed that more and more people are starting to share these kinds of group rights.
Yes.
And I'd like to
It is
hear,
a symptom of the expansion of consciousness.
I would like to know more about them if you have more to share.
More about the rights?
About this type of expansion, what the rights are offering, the synchronicities that come when we become our full selves in a group.
But you understand this already.
I know. I guess I was wondering if there's any more information to help accelerate these experiences.
Of course there is more information, which you will discover as you keep expanding.
Thank you for that.
You want me to spill all the beans?
Well, I am from Boston. Beantown, so we like the beans spread around.
All right. How synchronous.
Thank you. Well, my project or my space that I create is called Synchronicity Station, so
All right, there you go.
thank you.
So believe in what you have called yourself, and you will have all the information you need.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's up to you. I didn't do it.
Oh, well,
you're welcome
Thank
anyway.
me so much.
Thank you.
I've also noticed that I've encountered a being, or perhaps a part of myself,
Yes.
called Rainbow Eagle Woman.
Yes.
I know some things about her, but there are some things that are mysterious, which
Such as?
she seems like I've noticed that a lot of people have been in bringing in this presence of the rainbow eagle.
Yes.
and I
Because
wonder
it's
if-
representative of the idea of the full spectrum of vibrations. And thus, then, by combining the full spectrum, you rise higher and have the viewpoint of the eagle. That's the symbology.
Oh, thank you. And I there's another synchronicity. When I was in England, I was actually experiencing something like the concerts that you have.
Yes.
There was a gentleman named Tareth who did a ceremony where he was bringing those for the group to experience these tones. And so
Yes.
that would be... So we really do have the opportunity to experience these concerts.
Of course you do. You just have to listen in a different way.
And that's the secret for this.
It's not a secret at all. I just told you.
You did.
There I go, spilling your beans.
Thank you. Well, it's been a lot of fun interacting with you, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day. Speak up, speak up.
My question is related to open contact and how you use dreams
Yes.
and as a barometer of how.
We use how you remember
yes
as a barometer.
how we recall
Whether you
dreams.
recall in dreams or otherwise is not so much the issue. The rate at which you remember that many of you have already had contact gives us the barometer for when you're ready for more contact.
So I'm curious about some of the, I guess, agreements behind that. When
Yes.
when we're remembering these
Yes.
experiences through dreams, does this happen at the level of agreement with our higher mind?
Yes.
That we're deciding, okay, now
Through
is
the template level reality, the template level being that blueprint reality that you utilize to structure your physical reality experience. But the higher mind is involved in doing that.
okay, so it's a collective
Yes.
decision to
Yes.
say, okay, now, okay,
Even though the physical mind, in a sense, may not always remember that.
okay. And so what you're checking then is you're aware of that. It's not necessarily something that we have to communicate to any other being
No.
outside of ourselves. This is
No.
just naturally sort
Yes.
of, okay.
In a sense, it's like suddenly all waking up one day and realizing that without even knowing it, you all know the same thing.
And then,
It's the biggest secret that's no secret at all, eventually.
Okay. And then as we remember them through dreams, does
Yes.
that eventually shift into more conscious memory?
It does.
Okay.
Because the more you remember, you will get a reflection, more and more reflections in what you call your physical reality, that was real in its own terms, even though it may have taken place in a slightly shifted dimensionality space.
So I wanted to ask about one of my dreams.
Yes.
I was on a planet where it seemed as though the oceans, they kept the shape, the water of the oceans kept the shape of as though they look like the oceans here,
Yes.
but they're sitting on top of the ground and somehow still holding that shape.
All right.
Are you aware of this? And is my memory correct on this?
You're having an experience in a slightly altered dimension of reality. It is not exactly in your physical universe, but in the idea of some of the higher planes where you're playing around a little bit with exactly how to represent the recreation of your world. In other words, you're playing around in the template level reality. You just didn't put the ocean quite back where it belongs.
Okay.
But it's showing you that you have the ability to rearrange these things. It's showing you that you're working with the blueprint, and that if you simply rearrange the blueprint, the physical reality will follow suit, no matter how strange that may look.
Okay.
And remember that the idea of the water being above ground is also representative in many ways of emotionality being more on the surface.
Okay. All right.
More transparent.
Oh, okay. I woke up this morning, and I'm not quite sure I'm going to get this question out correctly, but it just, for some reason, it seems important to ask this.
All right.
So the idea that everything exists already.
Yes.
Everything exists.
The structure already exists completely.
Okay.
The experiences of it from different points of view are what's new.
And that's what I wanted to ask about, the experience.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a different perspective of the structure.
Right. So if there's no past, there's no time, and everything.
Well, there's the experience of time, but it doesn't actually exist as a mechanism per se within the structure. But the structure can give rise to that experience, that illusion.
So if we're creating all of these experiences
Yes.
based on perspective,
Yes.
okay, do every experience that can be had, does that also already exist?
No.
So wouldn't that be something new in all that is?
That's what I said. The structure already exists. What's new are the experiences. That's the act of creation expanding.
So how does that fit? I'm not making the connection. How does it fit in all that is already is all that it is?
It is all that it is.
But we're creating new.
But it's having the experience of becoming all that it is.
So all experiences don't exist yet.
No.
Okay. I have to kind of play with that
Speaking
one.
from the linear perspective, no. Speaking outside of time, yes. But speaking from the linear perspective, no, they don't.
Okay.
Because you're having these experiences, you're creating these processes, you're creating the experience of transformation, learning, and growth from within the framework of space-time. And from within that framework, they don't all exist. Within the one they do, but not within the idea of the experiences within space and time. Does that make sense in your language? It might not.
No, I think I get that. I get that in the context of.
It's all about context. It's all about perspective. It's all about your point of view. But it is the experiences that are the actual experience of all that is creating itself, discovering itself for the very first time, even though everything already exists. Remember, some of the difficulty you may be having in understanding this is the human mind's insistence on things being this or that, when in fact it's this and that.
Okay.
So it all exists and it doesn't.
Yeah.
Now you are dealing with absolute cutting-edge creation when you're discussing this idea. And that's why there may be a little bit of difficulty in the translation of this concept into your language. Everything already exists, but the experiences don't, yet they do.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, so Now, I had another dream
Yes.
where I was, I'm just going to describe it this way. I was sort of in the void, just consciousness. There was nothing else there, just darkness.
Yes.
But I was just aware I was consciousness. And well, at first I wasn't even aware that I was consciousness. I just sort of was there.
Yes.
And then thoughts, that's not the right word either, but sort of thoughts were
Yes.
flowing through my consciousness.
Yes, reflections.
And I was watching that manifest into the void.
Yes,
They're sort
yes,
of floating
yes,
out
yes,
there.
yes.
And as I'm sort of watching this,
Having your own little mini Big Bang.
yes. And so I'm doing this, and as soon as I went to sort of naturally reach out to one, it at that point, my personality construct, my ego construct, it got involved and went like, holy crap. Sorry. And I immediately left that state.
That's all right.
and I
Crap can
was-
be holy.
But the thing that was interesting about that, because it brought me fully back into my body, but just prior to that,
Yes.
I experienced this overwhelming fear, of fear's not quite right, but it's fear of just this power,
Yes.
how could I
Yes.
do this?
Yes. Well, that's the, again, physical ego structure attempting to come to terms with something it can't possibly contain. The vibration you're referring to as fear is simply the border beyond which the ego can't cross. It has reached its capacity to contain that experience and feels that if it is pushed farther, it will be annihilated, it will explode. Because it is simply not built to contain the experience to that degree. That's all. You were simply feeling the vibration of the borderline between your physical reality and your non-physical self. And how, in a sense, grand you actually really truly all are.
Okay.
That's why we say, if you truly, truly experienced right now as a physical being the degree of ecstatic energy that you actually are, you would explode.
Yeah, I could see that after
All
that.
right.
Okay, one last thing. And it's another dream. And I was with my brother, and it was at night, and we were in this area where there were a lot of people in a stadium. It was an open outdoor stadium. And I look up in the sky, and I see ships, UFOs.
Yes.
And I'm really thrilled because every time I see him in my dreams, I'm really very happy and excited. And so I'm really happy, and I start pointing to my brother, look, and they're very, very close.
Yes.
But nobody else sees them. My brother doesn't see them. No one else
Yes,
sees
this
them.
is quite common.
So
You have to be of a certain frequency to perceive certain things that are slightly out of phase with your reality.
So I'm wondering, though, is that something that he and I experienced together?
In
or?
a sense, but it was a consciousness connection, a consciousness realization for you. It was something that you had worked out together on a dream level to teach you the difference between frequencies. That's the frequency you want to be in.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah, and I recognize that in the dream. I was saying to myself,
All right.
oh, okay, everybody's not at the proper frequency. to
It's
see
not
this.
about proper.
Or the
It's
frequency.
just what is relevant
Okay.
to that experience. That's the frequency that's relevant to the experience of seeing what is always all around you, but is invisible to most of you. Change your frequency, and what was invisible will become visible. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this timing, you may take a short break. We will resume this transmission with the holotope meditation to help crystallize and anchor into you the idea of resonance and reflection. Enjoy a very short break.